Welcome in, and joining me today as we continue our year in review is we're going to talk a little bit of golf, and it's been a bit popular here in the Low Country these last little bit. We had the PGA out on Kiowa, and now we've got the head coach for the women's golf team, Coach Jordan Jeffers. And Coach, it was a weird year as a whole. It was a difficult year for just about everybody, but how would you summarize your guys' season as a whole?
Yes, it was certainly a weird year, and everybody can say probably the same thing, that we are all fighting through all the obstacles that this year brought on, and just doing all the different travel restrictions and travel arrangements brought just a set of problems in itself. But otherwise, I felt like we fought through it the best we could, and honestly, I'm really proud of the way the girls kept fighting through the different obstacles we had, and also just the different situations that popped up that we normally wouldn't have. So I thought we did a great job getting through it, and also continuing to progress our program and progress our individual status as well.
What were kind of the toughest things we all saw with football and like with basketball? You know, no fans being in there in the stadium. Everybody has to be socially distant. What was kind of the toughest part for you out on the golf course and your team?
Right. For this year, one of the biggest changes is that because of COVID restrictions, we had to play together as a team. So normally we would play with 2 or 3 other teams at an event, so you're basically playing with other teams from other universities. Well, because of COVID restrictions, most of our events we had to play amongst ourselves, so all 5 or 4 of our players playing in one group, which it makes for an interesting feeling whenever you're on the golf course. We're used to seeing our teammates up on the green or on the tee box behind us, but now we're all playing together, and sometimes the attitudes can be contagious. And one thing that we really focused on was trying to maintain our focus really well, and also trying to maintain our positivity between each other. That way we didn't affect ourselves poorly whenever we inevitably going to play bad sometimes, because that's golf. That's everything that we play. We're going to play bad eventually, but we can't let it affect ourselves in any way, shape, or form, and especially affect our teammates, because we can have a teammate that's playing really well, but in certain instances, if you're not, we can't be affecting them, because we're trying to be great teammates. We're trying to be positive role models for one another. So that's one aspect of our season that was so much different, and I honestly feel like it helped us be better as players, and it's going to help us better in the future, because we had to learn quickly how to control our attitudes, control our positivity, and bring that culture every day.
One of those players who had a very good season coming in as a freshman, Caroline Inglebret. What can you summarize just about her first year here in Charleston?
Right. Yes, Caroline had a great season. Really, it was just a continuation of what she was starting to do in Denmark. As I first spoke with her and was able to recruit her in, she was starting to just peak at the right time, and she just kept maintaining that momentum, and she brought it all the way through the semester. I'm really excited about what she's going to be able to do over the next 3 years. Her getting all freshman team in the Big South was a big accomplishment for her, and honestly, it's something that after being here for just a short period of time, I kind of felt like she was definitely going to be that capability and that ability. She's going to be able to do that, and the sky's the limit for her, honestly. So I'm really excited.
When you're recruiting a player like her who's overseas, what are you kind of looking for, and how did that process go for you trying to find somebody like that?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of different aspects you have to look through to make sure they're the right fit. First we start out with golf scores and golf swings and different statistical analysis of what they're doing golf-wise, but it's also just as much about me talking to them one-on-one and trying to see if they're going to be a good fit for us. We love Charleston Southern. We love being here, and I want somebody that wants to be here and wants to make this program thrive and make our university thrive, and you can kind of figure that out real quick whenever you talk to somebody over the phone. And Caroline was very excited to be here, and I brought her in on a visit from Denmark, and she came in, and honestly, we just clicked right away, and she liked this university, loved this area, and it's something that we are going to really focus on in our recruiting. In my recruiting, that's what I focus on, because that breeds a great environment for us to continue to get better, and for us to be able to make it very easy to stay positive and us to have an advantage over other teams.
Looking towards the rest of the squad, it was a tough year in the sense that you guys had a very small roster, a very, very short one as well. What were some of the challenges, and how do you think the rest of the team did, and kind of summarize their accomplishments for the year?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, we ended up with 4 players at the end of the season. We started out with 7, but a couple different things ended up happening, and obstacles, just like everybody else has had during this year. But I felt like my players handled it really well. They stayed positive. They stayed, working hard with each other, and honestly, I can't really thank him enough for working through the obstacles in such a positive manner, because it could have gone a different direction, but they really worked hard to stay positive and stay focused on getting better every day, because playing with 4 players when everybody else has 5 players can kind of be demoralizing. But in a lot of ways, at our conference championship and after our first round, you could see that light in their eyes. They were ready to go. They wanted to go out there and they wanted to get into our match play like our whole goal is every year. So it's not like they never gave up for a second. That's something I'm very proud of, and they should be too. I'll just say, I'll start with, Catherine Thorne. She had a lot of great rounds this year. I feel like next year is going to be her senior year. I'm really excited to see what she's able to do her final semester and final year. Just really excited about what she was capable to do this year and then what she's going to be able to do moving forward. She also, on top of all her improvements, she was all academic team for the Big South, which is awesome. I mean, in this day and age where we had to do all Zoom calls and Zoom classes, it's definitely was a change. And honestly, she took it in stride, and honestly even really did even better than she has done in the past, which is I'm super proud for her to do that. Isabel Freiberg is a junior that came in as a transfer. She came in and really did a good job helping the whole team move along and improve our games. But she had a great tournament at Old South Golf Links in the first semester. She ended up playing very well there. Had a little bit of a valley in the middle of the semester, but fought back and ended up getting tied for 11th place in the conference championship out of 50 players, which is very solid. And I'm really excited what she's going to be doing in the future. And I really think that she's going to make a huge impact on what we're able to do in the next couple of years for sure. Then our freshman Maddie Frank came in and worked very hard, and I really was impressed with what she was able to do here. She really overexceeded my expectations on a lot of different parts of her game, and she broke her personal best multiple times this semester. So if she keeps doing that, then she's going to be doing very well, and I believe that she can. So for those players that were already here, I'm excited for them to get back already. We're a little ways away from that, but I'm already ready to start back up since we only had 1 semester of playtime. But then we also have 3 incoming players currently. One is Shawnee Brynard from South Africa. Really excited about her. She's going to be a great player for us. Very fundamentally sound, just an amazing person. We also have Libby Singleton. She's from McLennan Community College in Texas. I've known her for a while now, and I know exactly what she's capable of, and I think she can really push our program to be something special. And then also we have a brand new signee that's a transfer from Houston, Texas, and Madison Freeman. And I am very excited because both of those Texas girls, I think, are going to push our program to a new height, and they're going to keep pushing the players that we already have here. And they're all just such a great fit for what we're trying to do here and what we represent CSU women's golf.
That's fantastic. Looking forward to next season. And I'll finish up with this question. When you look back on this year and this season, what are you going to remember the most from it?
Oh, the resiliency of my players, what I'm gonna remember the most, because we had our fair share of obstacles, and the girls never gave in. They never showed doubt in what we're trying to do, and that's something that is special. We're gonna remember that this year and for the years to come, because we learned more this year than probably any year that we would ever experience. And something that we're gonna take from it is if we can get through this year and even be as competitive as we're gonna be able to dominate one day because of what we learned this year.
Fantastic. Well, it was a good year. We got more coming up here in the future. Pleasure to talk to you today, and look forward to this next season and getting everybody back on campus. Even though we just finished up, it's right back around the corner.
Exactly.
Again.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. My name is Keelan McClatchy. Coach Jeffers here. Appreciate you joining. Back next time.